Well, hello folks, and welcome back to Gree, Episode 4. We're going to be starting off this video in North Quay and jumping around to finish a couple of quests that I finally have all of the items I need in order to finish. The first quest is one we haven't seen yet, but we did get the item for it. In North Quay in the guard gate on the second floor, you'll find Guard Elron here. And if you talk to him, just hail him, he'll tell you about his dear daughter, Lucy. He is broken up right now because she is missing. We already know what happened to her. Apparently her mother was killed by gnolls a little over a year ago. Ton Firepride, who I believe you can go talk to as well, said that she was sighted near the South Pond. Unfortunately, that was the last time anybody saw her. So Guard Elron just wants some information. Now you can give Guard Elron the dress when you find it, but you do not have a chance to get the rare +3 intelligence earring that either Zamel here will give you, who you can find right outside the bank, or Endrick will give you, and you can find him right outside the bank. Now, the +3 intelligence earring is apparently an ultra rare reward. I'm pretty sure between me and Wabomund we probably finished this quest 5 or 6 times, and neither of us got the earring, unfortunately. Did end up with plenty of hematite that doesn't actually sell for that much if I remember correctly. And for as difficult as that quest is, honestly, I mean, going down into the aqueducts and killing gelatinous cubes, which they don't social aggro, thankfully, but they hit hard. You get almost no experience for completing it, which is sad. Not all quests give good experience. If you find the quests that give good experience, by all means, you should grind the hell out of them if they're easy. I decided then to run to Baobab, to good old Billy Bob Miller here, and turn in some of the pelts, see what armor we can get. I'm going to get boots first, so that's medium quality and 15 gold, and you get wolfhide boots. AC of 4. You get nothing but positive faction gain, which is always nice, and I don't believe we got any real good experience from that, at least not compared to some of the quests we can do. I never once got a low quality wolf pelt, so unfortunately I can't get the wolfhide belt, which breaks my heart. I don't have a complete wolfhide set, but I can get the cape, which is a high quality hide plus 21 gold, and you get an AC of 5 cape. It will replace the rat hide cape that I wish I could say I formed some fond memories with, but I don't even think we got to resist one spell with it, so good riddance, you filthy piece of rat hide garbage. After that, you need to go hunt down Shonda if you've got the bear pelts and you want bear armor, and hail her down. She could be in a number of places. She's kind of difficult to find, but I'm assuming you're a ranger or druid, right? So you can just track her. You need to tell her that her brother sent you, or she will not talk to you, I believe. So you say your brother Billy Bob sent me, and you can ask her about the clothes as well. She does like to move whenever she starts pathing around, so you may need to hail spam her, which is just targeting her and pressing H to say hail, and that'll lock her in place for a few seconds. Some NPCs are like that. So that gets us the belt, which all of the bear skin armor that you can turn in for has 1 more AC than the wolfhide armor. The only reason I was getting a set of each, as much as I could anyways, is because A, I wanted just to do the quests, see what experience you got for them, see what gold, faction, anything like that. Obviously you're not going to get gold since we're paying them, but that's why I've been doing all of the quests that I've been doing. I just want to see. But I figured I'd get an extra set and give it to Wabomund when he logs on, because if you'll notice, it's class and race all. So even casters can wear it. After that, I believe we needed to go back into Surefall Glade and turn some quests in there. If you'll remember Morona Castkin, however you want to pronounce it, Her brother was missing. Well, we found him, unfortunately. Down in the sewers. And this was the note that he gave her. He will not be returning. He found his true calling as a disciple of Batoxilus, and he's become one of the Bloodsabers. He's foolishly given them his flesh. He was a weakling, and he cried while they stripped it from his bones. He just wants her to know the pain that he feels too. Your pitiful and stupid dead brother, Ron. Whenever you turn this quest in, you can get one of those 2 rings there. I did this quest again 7 or 8 times, and I never got either of the rings. I believe those are ultra rare drops too. Now, for those of you who are going to be playing on green server, since it was just announced last week, some of this might actually be useful to you, since there's not going to be anybody in EC to buy cheap Twinka gear from. Everybody's going to be using rusty weapons and searching for the easiest and best gear they can get. Which I suggest getting this weapon. Take both parts of the staff to Korun here, and turn them in. You'll get a Jagged Pine Crook. If you'll remember, the Gnolls were brutally killing the citizens of Surefall Glade and Quanos Hills, and would break any of those crooks that they found. It has 5 damage, 31 delay, 1 strength, 5 hit points, and 5 fire resist. Amazing. But the most amazing thing is that we almost got 10 platinum for completing that quest. And since this quest is so incredibly easy, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't be able to afford your spells, druids and rangers. Because you can just do that every single time you see a hunter up, kill them, loot the staff part you need, and go turn it in. I went back to Haggard Sure Shot because I am actually going to be training Fletching. I plan to go get a bow very soon, wink wink, and start learning how to shoot it. If I'm going to become a real ranger someday and not just a trainee, I need to be able to craft my own arrows. And if I ever want the legendary rain caller, I believe I'll have to have something like 238 fletching or something like that. I do plan to do that quest, so it's kind of important that I start raising my fletching now. I'll be able to craft all the arrows I want, which is quite nice. I was about ready to leave Surefall Glade when I remembered I wanted to go check the poachers again. I believe that the real poachers are still Redcon. I'm looking at my tracking list over there. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, but I'm going to be getting a new interface specifically for my ranger as soon as I get my spells, and I'm going to be fixing my tracking list there, because rangers actually have much better tracking than I have shown off so far. It's kind of criminal that I just used my bard interface for so long. We'll get into that later. But there was a Gnoll poacher in here, and I wanted to kill him, chop his head off, and then go turn it in and see what we could get. The Gnoll poachers obviously come from Blackburrow. I have no idea who they're working with, but I can only assume that it is Talim Shuntar. Going to have to do some more investigating on this as well. You get a lovely Gnoll head, a patch of Gnoll fur that I don't believe it's actually used for anything, except some silly quest that I'm not ever going to do. It might be a monk quest or something. Check the wiki, and you can find out what it is. I know I did a couple times, and it was always useless. But I took the secret exit out of the bear caves and decided, let's go turn this in. Curious what we get for it. I don't believe that we get a bow for the Gnoll heads. I believe that's only for the human poachers that you turn in. But I turn it in and get a whopping 7% experience, which isn't too bad. And I did indeed get a rough elm recurve bow. Wonderful. So now that I've picked up fletching, I can start fletching my own arrows. I've got a bow that didn't cost me 3 platinum from a vendor, and I can start shooting things and pooling, which is one of the rangers. I don't want to say it's their main goal, their main group function, but it's up there. Pooling mobs, harmonying them outside, splitting and snaring groups. Annadel was outside Quanos. I ran back there because I believe we had another adventure to go on. But she was outside buffing, and not ever going to say no to buffs. I was so close to a level that I decided to, I guess, dive back down there with my cleric buffs and chase sewer rats through the water. This is what I'm talking about whenever I say if you're a low level, forget it. If you're being chased through the water and your swimming isn't high enough, you're not going anywhere. I could barely chase down this beat up, slowed rat. And that was level 7, down in the Aqueducts, which are not terrifying at all, so I urge all of you new players, if anybody's going to play this based on my videos, go down there, just explore around. If you die, you die. Stuff happens. It's EverQuest. You're going to die a lot. Just try to die in a place where you can get your corpse and everything will be fine. And if you can't get your corpse, enlist members of the community to help you. If I was up in Quanos and some newbie came down there and said that their corpse was in the Aqueducts, by God, I'd go down there and help them get it on my Bard or something. Not on my Ranger. But there's plenty of us with competent, capable characters. I guess I had Ron Castkin on tracking one more time. And like I say, I wanted to kill him as many times as possible. Ron, you need a good picture here. You died so quick when we bumped into you the first time that it was pretty sad. So there's Ron. Getting his glamour shot. I was kind of hoping some rats would jump in there. Might have been a good experience still. After that, Wabomund logged on, and we went just back to killing the gelatinous cubes down here. Again, they're good experience. Their loot sucks, but it's easy. I wanted an easy night of experience. We're getting close to the point where we're going to be going into actual dungeons, though. And again, I don't consider this place a dungeon. There's so many different entrances and exits to this zone. Dungeons are more terrifying than that. And that got me level 8. I'm not going to show you guys every single level I get. But apparently maybe the first 10. Wabomund had 10% more to go, so we stayed down here and leveled him up. Because that's just the polite thing to do in a group. While leaving, I get to showcase the first time I believe I've been stuck while recording. You might notice how the wall comes to a point like that, the angle that it is. Somebody could measure that. Is it a 45-degree angle? Is that what it is? Regardless, if you see that angle, it's usually the angle of doom. So avoid throwing yourself into one of these corners or ducking and backing into one of these corners or generally getting anywhere near one of these corners. If you do get stuck, you can use the rewind command. I believe it takes about 60 seconds of being stuck in the same place before you can use it. Just hope that you don't get stuck underwater and drown or something like that. Went back to Surefall Glade one more time. I needed to stock up on supplies and get ready for our next adventure. I didn't get one of those fancy rings. I got a loaf of bread. Yes. She knew I was hungry. She knew I was low on supplies. Went back to the Jagged Pine Tree Folk Tavern. I like checking these vendors every once in a while, see if there's anything interesting for sale. Maybe a mid to high level druid or ranger ran through here and dumped some stuff off into the vendors that I won't be able to afford, but I can drool over. I also decided before we head on to Blackburrow, I needed to make some arrows. Fletching is incredibly easy to level up, and geez, the first 50 to 60 levels you can probably do for less than 10 plat. I might be exaggerating it a little bit, but it's cheap. And the basic arrows that you can make are incredibly cheap. I messed up, unfortunately. I should have bought the wood shafts and not the bone shafts. So I waste a whole bunch of supplies here, and I think I walk away with 5 arrows. Let's see, I started out with 20 of each. After 8 tries, I make 5 arrows, which won't last very long. And then on to buy supplies. Before you set off on an adventure to new lands, or to a dungeon, or to go experience grind somewhere, it's essential that you stock up on food and water. Not having food and water in this game means you do not regen stamina, and I believe health, as quickly. Health might not stop completely, but stamina does. And yeah, that was it. Next time we will be stepping into Blackburrow to go tango with the gnolls. We've caught one of them poaching in the bear caves behind the Ranger HQ here. So let's see what else we can find. It's time that we take the fight to them, perhaps. They've been stalking Quanos Hills, murdering people, poaching our bears. I think it's time to go spill some Knoll blood in their own home.